Hello everyone, welcome back. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you are all well. I know some of you, my friends out in the States, are probably feeling extremely stressed right now and a little bit unsure. I hope that this video can kind of give you a distraction even just for a few minutes, and I'm sending you all my love. So what I'm doing for you today, I'm going to be doing a reaction video, of course, and so many of you have tagged me in this launch of Kim Kardashian's new collection. It's very under eye heavy and very under eye. There's a lot of bacon and color correction. You all know how I feel about that. If you don't, please check out my MUA Reacts playlist, because I'm sure I mention it in every single video. But what we're going to be doing today is watching the launch of her new thing and applying these products and using these products. So let's get into that. So just before we get into that today, if this is your first time here on my channel, hi, my name is Robert. I'm a professional makeup artist here on YouTube and also in real life. And by professional, I mean, it was my paid profession for about, well, now we're coming up on 13 years. So that's a very long time. And it's my goal here on YouTube to help you become a pro yourself, or just someone who's really good at makeup. And sometimes that means separating what we see online versus what is actually achievable and realistic in reality, because these lights, this camera, this makeup is not reality. And you'll find a lot of techniques that you see online don't translate very well into real life. And while a lot of people would like to say makeup has no rules, I always like to say that creativity and individuality have no rules, but makeup most definitely has a theory. And that's set in place. So when you see all these techniques online, I'm not doing these videos to say you can't do this, you shouldn't do this. It's if you have tried everything you've seen online and it doesn't work for you, I'm going to break it down as to why, just trying to make it better for you. Okay, so should we just do it? Oh, subscribe. Okay.
Hey guys, it's Kim, and I will be showing you guys how to do a full KKW under eye concealer look with our new system, Correct, Conceal, Bake, Brighten. Before it was a 3-step system under my eyes, the Conceal, Bake, Brighten. But now it's getting a little bit harder to cover my under eyes. So I had to add Correct.
Let me just say something before we get into this. Sometimes it may seem like nothing covers your under eyes, but that doesn't mean you need to use more and more product. Sometimes it just means you're using the wrong tone of product. So it'll be interesting to see what she does. Who are we kidding? She's going to over color correct and she's going to over bake. Let's go.
I will be showing you guys how to use our Correct, and then we will conceal, then we will bake, and then we will brighten. So check it out.
She'll bake and then brighten. That'll be interesting to see. So those color correctors, looking at those color correctors, they're not a bad group of under eye color correctors or color correctors for all skin tones. Obviously, the red is for a very deep tone of skin that you want to color correct, and you know, as it goes up, the paler the skin tone. Bake and then brighten, does that mean she's going to bake with powder and then put a brightening powder on top? I'm very confused. Let's have a look.
First, instead of starting with Conceal, Bake, Brighten, we are going to start with Correct.
She already has product on under her eye. So to me, automatically, this is false advertising. She is going to show us how to correct the tone under her eyes, but she's already covered the tone. If we're selling a product, can we not just be real about it? Everyone has skin. Everyone has problems with their skin. Everyone has issues sometimes. And everyone, you know, might have darker under eyes. It happens. We're human. It's skin. Why do we have to have this false image that she already has amazing under eyes? Put your foundation on, fine. Just get rid of why are you wearing makeup under your eyes when that's what we're covering? Look, sorry, can I just stop it there? She already has, sorry, I had to lean in. She already has product under her eye because you can see it creasing there. So this is now not a realistic view of this product and how it's going to work. And let's talk about this, okay? I'm getting heated. I'm getting heated because I'm so okay. By the way, this is nothing against her. I know she's trying to sell a product and all this kind of stuff, but so this is why you don't use this product like this. First of all, the first line of product that she did is more than enough. Let's say this is realistically how her under eyes look. Even though she's got brown eyeshadow under her eyes also. Is that meant to be the dark circles? Darkness gathers around the eye, mainly on most people, and I know this isn't for everyone, but the majority, gathers in here. Darkness is blood sitting just here, or on the outside here, or some people have it all the way across, or it comes down here. The need to take this product further down here, first of all, excess product, which isn't a good thing in this case because it's more to cover. It's, you have to color correct a color corrector after. Now we need to neutralize that orange with another product on top. So the less product, the better. She is going to have to blend this into this massive shape around her face with all this unnecessary color corrector. Extremely unnecessary. So unnecessary that I actually can't believe how unnecessary this is. And why she bring it down so far into her cheek like this? Let me just, okay, so actually I'm just going to zoom into my eye here. I'm wearing makeup under my eye. I'm going to admit that straight up, but let me just show you how much color corrector you need for something. And let's say, I mean, I don't have that bright orange because that's not really necessary. I'm going to take this shade right here. And here's the thing with color corrector. Don't do this going in and building and building and building. Take a tiny bit at a time. You want it to be a tint of color. You're not applying it like concealer. You're applying it to fade away very subtly dark circles. And if you do want to take it the whole way across, like I said, tint the skin. Don't pack on color. A lot of the time you'll find as well, especially on someone like her who doesn't really have these dark circles under her eyes because she's wearing makeup on top of them at the moment in this particular video, a concealer with a red undertone is more than enough to color correct this. I personally, if I want my under eyes to be brighter, I will use a concealer with a red undertone or pink undertone that is maybe 2 shades darker than my skin tone. That equates to a color corrector for me. And it's actually a technique I use on clients as well. One, to save time, because who wants to now go in and cover all this orange? Actually, I won't go to my second stage yet because I just want to see what she does. So I'm going to zoom out. Okay, take it away, Kim.
So this formula is so blendable. And
okay, stop. Okay.
Creamy.
What? Why? Color correction is... This is very frustrating because, one, if you're going to buy this product, you can, I mean, absolutely buy this product. It's a great idea. No, it's not. I'm not going to say it. But please don't use that much excessively because then you're going to have to buy the product more and more and more and more. A color corrector like this, you're probably not going to finish. Realistically, you don't need to use a whole thing. You probably won't use a whole thing before you have to buy another one.
And you just dab it anywhere that you're dark. Sometimes Mario would put it like around here a little bit just to blend it. You can put it on your upper lip if you have melasma.
So why? Okay, so that's a perfect amount, that tiny little bit. Color corrector is very strong in pigment, especially when it's made to be a color corrector. So bear that in mind.
I take our little sponge. So it might scare a lot of people that are not used to seeing this tone, but you kind of just...
Okay, so look around. Okay.
Try to blend.
Look around at where she's blended it. Where have we color corrected? Where's our precision? Where's our definition? Where's our spot correction? That's what it is with color correction. You're correcting an area, not the whole face. She's wearing makeup as well. It just defeats the purpose.
Blend it all out like evenly, but you'll still see the tone. It'll just like...
Here's the thing though, you shouldn't have to blend it out. You should be doing it like this. And then to blend it out evenly, that also doesn't make sense because ideally you want more product on the area that you want to color correct. So why are we blending it out evenly over here when we don't need to color correct here? She's taking it all the way around here. What's happening? This is the most heated I've been in a reaction video for a very long time.
Block out the blueness and the darkness. This formula is really hydrating and smoothing. So
let me just say, if a formula for color corrector is very hydrating, ideally you want it to be a little bit creamier so it grips, I find personally, so it grips onto the skin a little bit more. If it's too hydrating, you get a lot of movement, which is great under the eye because it can be a little bit drier under the eyes, but for color corrector, we want that to stay put throughout. So I'm not showing the texture of this.
Smooth out like fine lines just to really set the palette. Once you feel that you have this base of the color that's like a wash now, still there, but it kind of blocked out the color, I am now going to use our concealer. You know what? I used to be color 7, which is a bit more pinky, and now I've gone into 8. I'm just like really into 8. Something that I also like to do is kind of go a little bit more down like the sides of my nose and just the middle of my forehead. Again, I'll kind of go under here because what I like to do is see where the shadows are in pictures on my face and kind of try to brighten up where that would be.
I mean, you do need some shadows in your face. So I'm going to take a tiny bit of my concealer with the same brush I use for the colour corrector, and I'm just going to tap that over the area I colour corrected only. And now that's automatically already brighter. That's it. That's all you have to do, that tiny, tiny little bit. And now this is so much easier to keep under control all day. I don't have to worry about it creasing too much. We can add a tiny bit of powder if you want to. But let's see what Kim does. This is okay.
I also want to highlight the bridge of my nose. So I always just put it going down there. Highlight the chin a little bit, and then it's blending time. So I have my corrector blender and then my other sponge that's just clean because you don't really want to mix it up. Now, since the corrector's underneath, like look at that. Our concealer, you guys, has so much coverage. It's amazing.
Oh, they've blurred the video. Why blur the video when it's a product? I want to see this texture on the skin.
And a sponge that can really just make that happen quickly. And you just really push it into the skin just to give that highlight and that Okay, so now that I'm corrected and I'm concealed, I need to bake. And I like to use baking number 2.
So if you haven't seen a lot of my videos, there's a reason I don't like baking on top of this excessive product is because one, it isn't blended in very well. It's just stamped onto the face. We have 3 layers of it. She was wearing makeup before for some reason. Then she put corrector on top. Then she put concealer on top. And now we're going to go in with powder and just let it sit on the skin. Skin absorbs moisture. The products are drying and setting at different kind of paces. So this powder is going to get into all these different textures and...
Baking powder is amazing.
Just before she does this, I'm just going to take my favourite setting powder. This is the Mystifying Mattifying High Definition Powder, Lunatic Cosmetic Lab. And I'm not baking, I'm using the tiniest bit, and I'm just going to push that into that product like this, and then gently give it a little wipe. And that's how you set your under eye powder in every day, without filters, without professional lighting. Okay.
And I like to use our little brush, and I use this side with the sponge. I wet it a little bit. I'll put some on the top. And I just put it on my under eye. It fits like perfectly in the corner of my eye.
You can all see the blur on this video, right? You know it's not that smooth.
And I like to just let it sit there while I do the rest of my makeup. I will be right back. Okay, so now I did my bronzer, I did a little blush, and I did my lip. And what I'm gonna do...
Bronzer and a blush looks really, really nice. And so does her lips. That looks amazing. I just wish she's so pretty, which... You know, she's a spokesperson, she's a salesperson, she's an idol for some people. I just wish she would be like, listen, let's not fucking do this with the baking. I know it's like her thing. She should have cashed in on contouring when it first came around, because I remember working on clients and they'll be like, can you make me look like Kim Kardashian? I was like, who the hell was that? This was years ago, years and years ago, when she was just famous for keeping up with Kardashian and being Paris Hilton's friend. I didn't know who she was. Social media wasn't really a thing. She could have cashed in big time back then.
Do is take the other end of the brush and I'm going to wipe off the baking, because now I've spent the time doing my other makeup that it's actually had the time to bake. So I just literally dust it off and that sets it completely in.
Chalky. It has there's pictures I see online when people bake and it looks grey. It has this grey undertone. It's pure white on your face. You know? And I wonder if we can see it in this video.
Sometimes while I'm just touching up,
There's areas of texture as well that I don't like when it comes to baking. You can see it on this video where, like I said, the concealer is grabbing onto this product underneath. And it's almost like when you mix powder with a wet product, it makes this weird, strange, almost clay-like texture. It's done that on her skin. And I know she's not a professional makeup artist. She has one and she's probably learned a good deal. But you are selling this product to people who also aren't professional makeup artists, most likely. So they're probably going to be at the same skill level as you or a tiny bit lesser than, if that makes sense. So, I mean, it needs to be easy for everyone to use. And if we're getting these kind of results, I don't like it. I don't like it.
So the last step, so I put, some of my baking down my cheekbone just to make sure that it gives me that extra little snatch while I'm just doing my finishing touches. I'm going to take our KKW Beauty dual-ended brush and use, honestly, either side. I probably will use this side. And I like brightening powder too. It's like a pinky little brightening powder. And I'll just put it right under the eye. Anywhere there's like a little bit extra darkness that you just want to brighten, I just add it there. If you just want to really spot set it, I'll use the small.
I really do wish that this video wasn't blurred so much. It's crazy the way it's been kind of edited. More powder, more texture. You know what it's like when you add more and more powder, that texture, that crepiness you get on the skin. You can see that kind of creasing on the skin. This is
smaller brush, and it really just takes away all excess darkness.
So we've done 3 steps to take away darkness. We have, well, she has done 4 actually, but what she's trying to say is she color corrected, concealed, and then baked, but yet we still have to take away more darkness. This layer and layer and layer and layer of product is way too much. Way too much. That texture on the skin under the eyes, this skin is so fine. That's why we're always told when we're applying eye cream or skincare to use our ring fingers. That product, I always say, it's almost like a cat gripping to curtains and pulling on that material. That heaviness and that pull and that tug. That's why you crease under the eyes. And some people can be like, but I always crease if I don't, bake. Are your under eyes that smooth at the end of the day? Send me pictures.
And it is like satin smooth finish. I will kind of dust this side off and just kind of dust all this off now, just so it blends in. And it really does help set it to make sure that we are good to go and that we are set and snatched. So this is the final look. We used our corrector, our concealer, we baked and we brightened to get the perfect under eye flawless look.
What to say? Are we not over this? Are we? I thought this year was about being, everyone's saying natural, but to me it's realistic. Here's the thing, you can wear loads of fucking makeup if you want to. I don't care what you do with your eyes, your skin, if you want a full coverage foundation. But you do have to bear in mind how skin is behaving underneath makeup. Makeup and skincare, there's a science aspect to it. It's not just like, let's make this color and then everything is fine. This kind of over-the-top baking, color correcting, this I think is the wrong time to launch something like this. You know what would have been really great? A collection that was texture, like a shine for the lids, a shine for the lips. Something that was a little bit more texture rather than coverage like this. Yes, release a face powder. Not everyone needs color correctors. And I know some people do, so don't be like, I need a color. I know you do, it's fine. It's just way too much product. Very disappointing. And here's the deal also, I don't mind people baking here, their nose, foreheads, not your eyebrows. It's the eye, it's an eye area, that texture and that. Oh. What I find really interesting is that when like an influencer or somebody who's famous for doing their makeup well online releases a range, they always release like a baking powder. But when a professional makeup artist releases a range, very rarely do they release a baking powder. And I think it's because they don't use them. You know, yeah. I don't know. Unless it's like a theatrical brand, then they'll have like a powder that's heavy. It's not necessarily called a baking powder because, you know, it's a technique that is used for drag, for stage, for theatre makeup. Not something that we really need to be doing every day. And not that much powder. There's nothing wrong with powdering under your eyes. Absolutely fine. You get it. You get what I'm saying. Okay. Ooh. Well, let me know what you think of this below. Let me know if you're going to buy any of these products. Thank you so much for joining me. Please give this video a big thumbs up if you liked it. Do consider subscribing. I will see you very soon. Bye.